Hi everyone, so we'll be starting a new series. This is part 1 of the Cricut Maker series. So today I'll actually be unboxing all the things that I got from Cricut a week ago, and I'll show you what is inside all the boxes. I put on the floor first. Go out, get out, get out. Yeah. Okay, so this is the Cricut Maker 3. Let's open it up. This is like my first Cricut. I still have a silhouette cameo which does the same thing, so I'm actually very excited because I want to see if this is better. So once you open it, you will see you are meant to make. So there's this envelope here. Okay, these are all the instructions. There's a free vinyl here for us to use to cut the sticker. Okay, so these are all just manual, and the warranty as well. This whole package looks very Apple. Okay, let's take out the printer, not printer, the cutter. Let's take out the maker, the Cricut Maker. I like that it takes up like less space. And I suppose these are the mats. These are called the light grip mats. So it's secure like lightweight to medium weight materials. So, and it has like adhesive already, so that everything that you put on here will be like temporarily stuck to this mat. Then you feed it into the machine and it will cut for you. Okay, then there's still a couple more things inside. Oh, there are more sticker cardstock and vinyl. It's weird. This is smart vinyl. Use this during setup to make a sticker. But this is smart paper. It's a sticker cardstock. So what's the difference between these two? So this is not vinyl, but this is also sticker. So this is the future me, so I just want to tell you that anything with the word smart means that you can load the material into the Cricut without using a mat itself. So you can just load all these smart vinyl and smart paper into the Cricut directly when you want to cut them. And the difference between the two of them is the smart vinyl is actually a normal vinyl sticker that you can actually just load into Cricut without loading it onto the mat. But the smart paper is actually a medium cardstock, so that means it's slightly thicker, and it's actually a paper cardstock that has a adhesive backing. So it is a sticker, but you will want to think of it as a medium cardstock. So this is the cable that connects the maker to any of your device. So the USB end is the part where you connect to your device, and the other part is where you connect to your maker. And it also comes with a UK and a European plug should you need either of them. This is the other box that they sent me. So today I'll actually be doing like a short project where I'll show you like the functions of the Cricut Maker and some of the items that I received from them. Oh, they sent me a lot more smart vinyl. Do they have any more? Oh, yeah. Christmas came early. More smart vinyl. Okay, this is gold. This is transfer tape. We actually use this transfer tape if we want to do any transferring of sticker to another surface. So if the sticker is very intricately cut out already, there's no way we can remove everything and stick it on another surface without the help of a transfer tape. So this is very important. Okay, what is this? Oh, more smart vinyl. Oh, so this is like different. Some says permanent vinyl and some says removable vinyl. So I guess the permanent one, you can't really remove them that easily off any surface. So we would explore a lot more about all these vinyls and other materials and all the smart papers in the upcoming video. Haha! This is the blade. This blade is the knife blade, and it precisely cut thicker materials, and I especially requested them to send me this because my silhouette cameo can't really cut thick materials, so I really want to try this out using the Cricut. Oh my god, I am a huge sucker of packaging like this. It makes me so happy just to see this. So there's a scissors, there's a squeegee, and there's a paper cutter. I think it's a paper cutter. Yep, it is a paper cutter.
So if you see here, there's a removable silicone rubber that you can just rest your paper cutter's blade on so that they don't scratch the surface of the plastic or they don't blunt your blade that easily. Also in this package, there are 2 replacement blades for the paper cutter.
And these are just a tweezer, a sticker remover helper, and this is for folding, I think, and this is for pressing the paper itself. Okay, this looks great.
And you can just keep all the tools in this handy container here in the maker itself.
Let me show you this. Watch. It automatically is like drop down. How cool is that? Okay, let me show you again. Ta-da! Oh my god! It's so cool. You should see that the texture here is really premium. Everything looks very well made and expensive. It's so much more well built compared to the Silhouette Cameo.
Also guys, did you know that I've started a Discord channel? I did not know that the link would expire, so I actually lost a few potential subscribers there. So I've actually refreshed my link already, and you can get the link in the description below. So join my Discord channel so that you can stay in the loop with all the new things that's happening in this channel. So once you open up your Cricut Maker, you can see that there are 2 clamps. The clamps are labeled as A and B. Clamp A is mainly used for pens, which means you load in a pen tip there and you can do some drawing for you on the material that you like. And clamp B is for you to load your knife blades under. So the clamps are very force resistant. You actually need a very strong excessive force in order to open the clamp. So please don't be alarmed if you need to apply more pressure when you're trying to open the clamp. To uninstall any blade, just open up the clamp and carefully remove the blade holder. And once you have removed the blade holder, make sure you store them nicely with a cover in the container in your Cricut Maker. And to put it back, the easiest way is to have your knife holder holding whichever blade that you want and load it into the clamp itself and let it rest naturally using gravity, and then after that you can just snap the clamp shut. I also tried installing the knife blade and it was just as easy to install and uninstall. There are only 4 buttons in this machine: the on-off button, the paper feed button, the play button, and the pause button. To connect to your laptop or your device, look for the 2 ports that are side by side. Just plug in into the USB going into the laptop, and then the other one going into the Maker, and then the rest of the cables would go to the power supply. It's just that easy. The other one that is on the side of the Maker is actually not for connecting to your device. This is actually an extra port for you to charge your device as you are using it with the Maker. And yes, there is actually a slot for you to place your iPhone or your iPad here while you are using the app. And you will want to place your Cricut Maker on a stable surface with ample space in front and also behind the Maker itself. So make sure that there is space for the entire mat to go through like this, then you are good to go. So now that everything is set up, the next thing to do is to install the software. So I'm looking for the software right now, but instead of finding a download button, I see a price table instead. So this is a bit confusing and frustrating a little bit. And then I realized that I won't be able to download anything unless I register, so I have to register first. So once I have registered, there is still no download link. So maybe I need to register my product first. The moment I click on register product, the download link started. So it's very weird because registering product is registering a product, but downloading the app is downloading the app. You do not click on register product and then give people a download links direct to the app itself. It's just very bad UI design. Fortunately, after the software is installed, the experience is a lot more pleasant, but there is a lot of things in the library that if you want to use, you will have to subscribe to their service itself and look at their pricing table again if you want to use their shapes, for instance. And if you don't want to design your own artwork. So today I'm actually creating this Taylor Swift piece that I had in my Procreate library for the longest time. I did not finish coloring it because I grew out of this Art Nouveau style, so I would like to use the design instead today to do the paper cut style artwork. So after I've created the outlines, I actually have to plan and decide what papers to get, and I realized that this project is going to take a lot longer than I estimated because I actually have to go and get papers, and if they do not have the colors that I want, I would have to color them myself. So in a perfect world, you can go and get papers and they will be in the perfect texture and the correct color for you, but it very rarely happens this It very rarely it very rarely happens this way. Okay, it almost doesn't happen this way. So I went out and I bought different textured papers. They are all in white, which means that I will have to color them one by one. And what I want to achieve is to have them all in different textures so that when they are assembled together, you can actually see the difference in the texture, and they would give a much more tactile visual approach to the whole piece. So the first thing to do is to measure and cut all the papers to size for all the colors that I need. And for this, I am using my blade and my self-healing mat, and I've also started to use the Cricut paper cutter, and I fell in love with this little gadget thingy. I love it so much. It is so sharp and it's so easy to use, but the only thing that I didn't like is there is no space for the thumb to move when you're pushing the blade upwards, and this might cause your lines to be wavy or not straight. So after the paper is cut to size, I label all of them so that I know that which one is for which color, and once that is done, I can use my airbrush and load it up with my watercolor paints that I've diluted myself, and using that I am going to airbrush all the papers in the colors that they are supposed to be. And I've also airbrushed like 4 pieces of like gradients like this, so it's kind of risky doing this approach because I actually have 1 paper per color, which means I only get to cut 1 time, and if I fail, I will have to redo this entire process, so it's quite a huge risk. So this is my design, and for the first cut I wanted to do something really simple, so I'm just picking this circle here, and I'm just looking at the dimensions and the size here, and I'm going to copy the dimensions over to Cricut's app by creating another circle there. So once I've created a circle, I'm going to click on make it, and then after that it will ask me to choose the material. So the material for this is actually very thin, so I'm going to pick like copy paper, which is something similar to the material that I'm using right now. So because this paper crumbles really easily, I have to load it onto the light grip mat. So the light grip mat has less adhesive, which means when I remove the paper from this mat, I would have less chances of crumpling it up. So in step 2, I'll actually press on the paper fit button so that the mat itself together with the paper will fit into Cricut. Now when you are loading your mat anytime into the Cricut machine, it is very important for you to actually align it to be really straight to go in, or else when you cut, the whole thing will be misaligned and it will cause like jams in your cutter and things like that. So make sure that you load it in really straight. Then after that, I was waiting like an idiot, and then I realized I have to actually press the play button to get it to start working. It took quite a while to finalize before the cut is started, but when it starts cutting, I was so shocked. I actually got a scare because it was so fast. Like the silhouette cameo cuts like but this was like and it was like flying everywhere. It almost feels like it's zooming that fast. It was really fast. So once it's done, you actually have to press the paper fit button to unload it once more. Then when the mat is unloaded, I actually use the weeder to weed out all the unwanted parts. So once that is weeded, I can then remove the actual shape itself to use for my artwork. So for the next cut, I'm actually going to cut the brown background. So for this, I'm actually going to go back to my Illustrator and make sure that all the shapes for this background does not have any appearance styles to it. So it has a drop shadow to it, and I have to remove that first. So once that's removed, I can then export this selection itself as either a DXF or an SVG file. Once you have exported it as an SVG, you can bring it into Cricut by uploading it to the library, and then you can just add it to your canvas that way. So once you are there, then you can also continue to adjust the shape and place it within the mat itself. And then if you notice here, the screen here shows the mat itself and all the measurements that's in the mat. It is in direct correlation to the physical mat that you have, that you can load your papers and materials on. So when you are placing your shape, make sure that you place your shape where the paper will be according to the measurements or the grid of the mat itself, both in the screen and physically as well. So this time I actually have to use a strong grip mat because it wouldn't stick to anything else. I actually tried the standard one first, but it kept falling out. So I used a strong grip mat, and I actually also stuck on some washi tape to the ends of it to make sure that it's really stuck. So once this cut is done, I checked it and I realized that because it's cutting on the surface of the airbrush watercolor, it's actually scratching off the surface of the paper quite a bit, and it's causing some details to be lost once it's cut. So it's not that bad because this was my first cut and I plan to recolor all the sides anyway. So to prevent this from happening again, I'm actually going to load all my materials from here onwards upside down, which means the color part will be stuck onto the mat and then the white uncolored part will be facing on top. So this would mean that Cricut will actually cut onto the white surface first, and this also means that I have to flip all my artwork or mirror my artwork when I'm cutting next time. And once I do this, I was instantly rewarded with a super clean cut. I really did not realize this before, but I realized that intricate cuts are really tricky to get, especially intricate cuts that are very small in size. So if you are planning to do intricate cuts, you have to either reduce the intricacy itself or enlarge your entire pattern so that the blade can navigate through all the tiny details. I have lost a couple of cuts here and papers here because of this problem here, but so far everything held up pretty well. So if you want a higher success rate, a good rule of thumb is to look at your blade size. So if your blade size is, let's say, this size, you will want to make sure that your smallest detail would be 4 times the size of your blade. So this would give it room to maneuver as the blade turns around. But the moment that I got confident, I actually stuck on like more than 1 paper in 1 mat. This is like 4 papers on 1 mat. I'm doing 4 cuts at one go, and amazingly everything turned out perfect because the alignment in this machine is just amazing. If this was Silhouette Cameo, half the cuts would have failed already because the alignment would run during cutting. Okay guys, this is the end of the Cricut Makers 3 unboxing setup and my first cut video. So from here on, I'll just talk about the artwork because I actually run an art channel. So if you'd like to hear more about that, just stay on. But if you don't, just check out my next video for Cricut that is covering more of the materials and stickers and vinyls and papers from their material set that they sent me. So for the artwork, I actually had to recolor some of the pieces with the Copic marker, especially the ones that are really small, and I recolored them with the Copic markers, and I always recolor all my sides as well to be the same color. After that, I started stacking up all the artwork into layers using either glue or double-sided tape and various thickness of foam tape. And then I realized that I do not have a good glue. So if you guys know any good glue for paper, please tell me in the comments below. I would love to purchase them. The glue that I was using was like driving me crazy, seriously. But the double-sided tape and the foam tape was really nice to use. What I would like to know, if you guys have any recommendations for like foam tape that are in the form of dots, so that I do not have to cut the foam tape all the time. So if I just dispense them as dots, and the more dots, which means more height. Is there something like that in the market? Just let me know in the comments below. So it took me about 1 week to prepare for this project, which means the outlining of the illustration itself, and to shop for all the materials, the airbrushing, the cutting, the setting up for the machine, the installing, and then 4 days to complete the artwork, which is the stacking of the artwork and the actual cutting itself. So this is not exactly a short tutorial like I mentioned, but I'm quite happy with how it turned out. It definitely could use some improvements. This is actually my very first layered paper artwork. This is the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching and sticking all the way to the end. If you would like to watch more art tutorials or Procreate tutorials, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time in my upcoming Procreate tutorial. So I'll see you next time. Bye.